So hello guys, my name is Ghanshyam Jobanputra. So I'm here to talk about a Java program that needs to calculate how much a company called Balix Infotech U Limited needs to pay their employees. So the US Department of Labor requires that employees get paid time and a half for any hours for over 40 that they work in a single week. For example, if an employee works 45 hours, they get 5 hours of overtime at 1.5 times their base pay. So the state of Massachusetts require that early employees be paid at least $8.00 an hour. So the summary of rules are: an employee gets paid hours worked times base pay for each hour up to 40 hours. And the second rule of the summary is for every hour 40, they get overtime, which is equals to base pay times 1.5. And the third rule of the summary is that the base pay must not be less than the minimum wage, which is 8.00 an hour. So if it's 8.00 an hour, it should be a print should be the error. And the fourth rule and the last rule of the summary rule is that the number of hours is greater than 60, then the message should be an error. So the print message or the output should be an error. So let's break down this code and explain this code line by line. So we start with the package and import statements, which is this. As you can see, I've highlighted. That's the package and import statements. So this line specifies the package name of the Java class. So in this case, the package name is com.mycompany.balix project 2. So that's our package and import statements. So we have class declaration, which is the public class, as you can see. So this line declares a public class named Balix Company Project 2, which is a must class. So we'll go to class. After that, we'll go to class variables, which is private static. As you can see here, these are the private statics. So these two lines declare two class variables. So there's a minimum wage, as you can see there in the first line, which is a value of 8.00, representing the minimum hourly wage. And we have the second line, as you can see, it's the max hours per week, and that's an int variable with a value of 60, as you can see there, representing the maximum number of hours an employee can work per week. So the both variables are declared as private and static, meaning they can only be accessed within the class and are shared by all instances of the class. So the final keyword means that these variables cannot be reassigned once they are initialized. So when we come to the method of the calculate pay, and which is when it comes to method which is calculate pay, so as you can see, I've highlighted the line public static void calculate pay double base pay int hours worked and double total pay. So this line declares a public static method named calculate pay that takes two parameters. Number one is a base pay, a double parameter representing the employee's base hourly pay, and hours worked, that's an int parameter representing the number of hours the employee worked. So we'll after that step, we'll go for error checking. As we have mentioned above, we need an error check as well if there's any error there in the base pay. So as you see this, I've highlighted it. So this line checks if the base pay parameter is less than the minimum wage. If true, it prints an error message to the console and returns from the method. So this line checks if the hours worked parameter exceeds the max hours per week. So if it's true, it prints an error message to the console and returns from the method. So after that step, we'll go to calculate pay, and that's after that we'll go to the calculate pay, which is if hours worked. Here, this is the code, as you can see. So this block of code calculates the total pay for the employee based on the number of hours worked. So for example, if the employee worked 40 hours or less, the total pay is simply the product of the base pay and hours worked. So if the employee worked more than 40 hours, the total pay is calculated as follows, which is regular pay. That is the pay for the first 40 hours, calculated as 40 times the base pay. And the overtime pay is the pay for the hours worked beyond 40, calculated as the difference between the hours worked and the 40 multiplied by 1.5 times the base pay. So the total pay is the sum of the regular pay and overtime. So we'll go to print. So after that, we are going to go to the print total pay. As you can see, this system out, let me highlight it for you. System.out printing total pay into dollars plus total pay, and close the brackets. So this line, as you have seen, I've highlighted it. It prints the total pay to the console, formatted as a string with a dollar sign. So we have made a string with a dollar sign, so which the pay will come into a dollar sign. So we will go to, after that step, we'll go to the main method, which is public static void, as you can see here. So in this line declares the main method. This is the main method, which is the entry point for the Java program. So this is a must code or a program, a Java program that needs to declare. So this is the main method, which is the entry point for the Java program. And when it comes to, this is the as you can see, that's the public static void. So as you can see, this employee, as you can see this, that's the employee 2, base pay $8.2, 47 hours worked. So that's the calculate pay, it will calculate. And the employee 3 base pay $10.0, 73 hours worked. So these lines are called calculate pay method with different parameter values simulating 3 different employees. So as you can see, employee 1, the base pay $7.5, 35 hours worked. Employee 2, base pay $8.2, 47 hours worked. Employee 3, base pay $10 and 73 hours worked. So we're going to run this code and see the output if it's correct, and if we have got any issues. And let's run the file and look at the output. So as you can see, the build is success. So our code is success, and we have got the error as you're supposed to get, and the total pay of $414.1, and the error, employee cannot work more than 60 hours per week. So thank you guys. If you have liked my explanation, please like my video and please subscribe. Thank you.